Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so very excited to have you here. It's October, it's a new month, and you know what that means? That means it's time for our Kindle Mystery Challenge. Today is the 9th, so that means it is officially day 1 of the challenge. So we're gonna figure out what that is really quick, so that way we get a jump on the game and I don't miss anything. That's the goal. Alright, Kindle challenges. We have the mystery reveal. This one, the new one, it says it's a Prime Big Deal Day. My assumption is just going to be that it's going to say to read on Prime Day because I think that's what it was the last Prime Day. I'll be shocked if it's anything different, but that's going to be what my guess is for this. So let's see, unlock this achievement when you read during the Prime Big Deal Days event on October 10th or October 11th. So I just am going to read for one of those days, October 10th or 11th. I will come back either the 10th or the 11th and get that started for you and let you know what book I decide to read for that. Alright, I'm back. I don't remember what I said, so I'm probably just going to recap everything and we'll go from there. My challenge is to read either on the 10th or the 11th for the Prime Day thing. So I don't have to finish a book necessarily, I really just have to read today, so that is going to be what we're doing. I have some things to do. I am going to try to do an eyelash lift on myself, so we'll see how that turns out. I guess you'll be the first ones to see it. So I'm going to read a little bit today, do that, get some stuff done, do some laundry, and then probably pick up reading. I don't think I'm going to be reading too much, but I'm just going to be reading a little bit casually throughout the day, get some things I need done, and just kind of have a relaxing day. So that's the goal. So I decided to read Intercepts by TJ Payne. So this is what we're going to be reading today. I don't really know. I just kind of wanted something scary, I guess. Try a little horror book. We'll see. I don't really know what this is about. I read it. Again, I don't remember. I know that it sounded good. This one is on Kindle Unlimited, and this is just going to be the pick for today. That's the goal. That's what we're doing today. Just reading a little bit, not too much, not anything chaotic or anything like that. Just a little reading vlog. I'll let you know how I think this is. I don't think I'm going to finish this today at all, but you will probably have to stay tuned for my monthly wrap up to actually get the full scoop on this book. But I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'll keep you updated, and if there's anything, worth mentioning or anything that I think is fascinating or whatever, then I will let you know. If not, then we'll just kind of read through and I'll give you a recap at the end. So I just finished up with my eyelashes. I don't know how I feel about them because they are still pretty dark. They look like I just put mascara on, which I was expecting them to be dark, but I wasn't expecting them to be like this dark. I don't think that I've worn mascara for like at least over a year, something like that. I don't even remember the last time I put it on. I don't think it looks terrible. I definitely am a very avid eyelash curler. I'm one of those people where I will never get eyelash extensions because I know that I will love it and not want to stop. So I feel like this is my nice little in-between. I don't know. We'll see how they look tomorrow. They're definitely still have like black color on my eyes, but I'm gonna go get my laundry and do that. It's definitely been a very slow reading day today. It took me like, I would say three hours to do my eyelashes. So I started at like 3 and it's 6:30. So that took a long time, but I got it done. All was well. Hopefully I don't go blind. Hopefully I don't wake up and not be able to see. I'm gonna do my laundry, get that going, and then I'll probably read a little bit more tonight. And then we'll figure out what the mystery challenge is next, and then I will probably put that book down and read something different. I don't know. It's just gonna be a hodgepodge of reading, this one. But right now I'm gonna do laundry so I can get that out of the way. I'm watching the Titanic right now, and I'm actually watching it on like one of those free shows where they have like on demand. So kind of during the commercial breaks, I'm picking up, I don't even remember what this book's called. I'm picking up Intercepts and just kind of reading that very lightly. I'm 12% of the way through, so again, it's just been a light reading day. Probably going to continue watching this, reading a little bit more. I'm still not quite understanding what's going on. Somebody just died. And I'm really just trying to figure out like how the beginning is going to play into kind of what just happened, because we linked somebody was in the beginning, I don't know who it was, and then is now linked to somebody that is high up in this like company. I don't even know if it's a company, but he is being really shady with this guy that just died. Said that, you know, they hire actors and stuff like that so the family doesn't know that the employee died, and the other employees doesn't know that it's not the real family that's involved. So it's kind of like people in the company will die and then they just kind of wipe the record clean and then they just disappear. It's very weird. So far, not quite understanding what's going on, but that's kind of where we're at right now. Definitely excited to see where this goes. I think it's kind of interesting. It's very confusing as of right now, but you know, hopefully it gets better. Hopefully I enjoy it. We'll see though. I probably won't update any more on this, and I'll just come back when it's time for that second achievement, and we'll see what that is, and then we'll read whatever for that. And then if I finish this book in between now and then, I will give my updates and opinions and thoughts and whatever on this. If not, then you'll get them in my monthly wrap-up. Alright, welcome back, for me at least. It's time for the second Kindle Mystery Challenge. Just came out. We'll see what it is. I'm assuming that it's going to be something to do with Halloween. It's my guess, just because it's closer to the end of the month. Halloween is this month, so I'm sure it's going to be something like reading a scary book. We'll see though. That's for us to find out right now. So we got our mystery reveals up here. Spooky season, this is the one that we have for today, and that is unlock this achievement when you complete one of our can't miss picks for thriller, mystery, and suspense. That's exciting. Thriller, mystery, or suspense. I feel like that's definitely something I'm very much in the mood for. Again, I wish they just had like a list of everything that you could pick from like they normally do. I guess they don't do that anymore. I'm not really sure. Mystery, thriller, and suspense. There are definitely a lot more options to pick from, I think, this time. Normally it's kind of just pick between a couple books that maybe sound interesting, but this one there are a lot. We got Nicola Sanders. There we go. See all titles. Then we'll filter it through Kindle Unlimited because I'm not paying for a book to do this, unfortunately. You got some Frida McFadden. Normally can't go very wrong with hers. Don't Let Her Stay. If you have not read that book, I highly recommend it. It was fantastic. I loved it. The Cat. Okay. I wonder why they put the books on here that are on pre-order, as if like you can go ahead and read them, because if you can't buy them and you have to pre-order them, how is this part of the challenge? I don't know. I feel like it's kind of weird. I feel like you should just put ones that are already out on there. I wonder, can I read the intercepts for this challenge? Let's see. Okay, so sweet. I can read the book that I read. The book that I was reading in the last clip or whatever. So the book that I was reading like in the last clips, I can read that book for this. I can continue that book for this mystery challenge and complete that one and do that. So honestly, I might do that. Now I know that's boring. I know that's not as fun as if I were to pick another book, but I do need to finish that. I would like to be able to include that in my October wrap up. I don't really want to save that for November. I have a couple books that I'm in the middle of right now, so I do want to get those finished. I don't really want to start a new one and then try to finish that one and then try to finish another one that I've got on my shelf. Bottom line, I gotta finish that book. Really, I really do need to finish it. So I think I'm just going to finish intercepts for this achievement. Whether that's like skimping out on it or taking the easy way out, I don't really know, nor do I really care at this point. It's just gonna end up being a little book video specifically on that book. Unfortunately, that's just what you're gonna get. So I'm going to go ahead and continue this. That will hopefully count as my second achievement for this video. But who knows? I could finish it and it'd be like, no, actually that doesn't count, which would be detrimental. But I'm sure I can finish a Frida McFadden book in a day or so. Not really that concerned about it. We're gonna get on with this though, finish it up, hopefully within the next day or two, and I'll let you know what I think. Right. I just finished Intercepts, and this was actually really interesting. It somewhat reminded me of Tenders of Flesh, just in a very calm way. This one basically was about this big experiment facility that the government ran. They were taking these people in to this facility, and they were trying to like experiment on their mind and like the abilities that their mind had, and kind of gaining intel into other people through these experimentations with these other people. It was really weird. It was very interesting. They ended up doing that, and then the people started going insane because of these experiments, and it all just kind of went downhill from there. So I don't really want to say a whole lot, just because it was a wild ride. It wasn't very confusing. The only thing is they don't really talk about what's going on until maybe like halfway through the book, 60% of the way through. You know, you have these people, I think they call them antennas, but they have the antennas, and those are like the experimental people. So they have them, and you know that they're testing on them, you know that they're running experiments on them and all that stuff, but you don't really understand why. You don't really know how they got there. You don't understand any of the backstory, but you can comprehensively follow along through what they're doing. So for me, it wasn't confusing. It was just like, I wonder what happened. I don't understand what the people are here for. I don't get what we're necessarily doing to them. So that was kind of throwing me off just ever so slightly, but again, you'll figure that out later on, and it's not like that's super necessary to the story, because they tell you, and then it's just kind of like glossed over, and then it doesn't really, it pertains to the story, but it's not like a heavy, the reason why they're doing this and who they are and whatnot doesn't actually matter to the storyline. It matters in a sense of how we got here and like what they're doing, but it doesn't actually pertain to anything. Does that make any sense? Am I making sense? Like, you could go without knowing and it would be totally fine. There's not like stuff that happens and it's like, oh well, we need to know the backstory to understand. You don't. It's nice to know, but you don't need to know. I actually kind of liked it. Again, this is going to be one of those where I'm struggling to figure out what I want to rate this, because I really don't know. I will say it wasn't as good as Tender as the Flesh, in my opinion. It was a lot more drawn out. None of the details really felt unnecessary to me, which is kind of good. I think a lot of books like this, sometimes they go into details that I don't really need to know, or they just kind of lose me and I forget about them. So there wasn't any of that, thankfully. The ending, I will say I didn't expect it, but it makes sense. I did think that it was kind of taking a better turn, and then it just fully hard left turned on me after that, but it was still pretty good. I would say the ending was very long and drawn out. I don't think it needed to necessarily be that long, but it was, and that's okay. It is what it is. There's nothing I can do about that. There wasn't any getting into the action and all of a sudden it's done and that's it. It was very, start to finish. It felt fast, but it didn't just speed through it and leave you kind of confused or like, oh, that wasn't really enough. But it was very interesting. I've been stuttering so bad lately. Like, it's terrible. And I thought I kicked that, but whatever. I thought it was very interesting. But it was just weird. It's just such an odd concept. The plot of experimenting on people is so gross, and I don't want to say I hate reading about it because it's so interesting, especially like seeing these people that are like, yeah, keep going, keep doing this, try this, like, let's push it farther. And it's like, what are you thinking? Like, how do you even think about this in your head? How do you justify this? To yourself, to anybody around you? It blows my mind. It's crazy. So you have these people doing this, and it's so weird. It's so odd. It just sucks for these people. Obviously, like, this is not real life, but like, man, if this was happening in real life, that would suck. I was about to say I don't know if this is horror or not. It's a horror novel. I would say, honestly, this one was scarier than Tender as the Flesh. It was a lot creepier, and there was like some kind of possession stuff going on. A little bit more intense in that aspect. And I don't want to say it was scarier than Pet Sematary. These are the books that I read for reading my horror books a couple days ago. If you haven't seen that, you can go watch it. It wasn't terribly scary. I wasn't like scared or anything like that, but there were some kind of moments where I was very thrown off. I don't know. I really don't know if you can actually make them scary where you're genuinely like, okay, like I'm nervous. I really don't know. I haven't come across one. Obviously, I've only read like 4, so maybe that's my problem. I need to keep going. But hopefully at some point I can get a scary one, because I'm curious now. I want to see if you can actually be scared reading a book. Or if I can actually be scared reading a book. Because again, I don't think I get scared very easily. I think my problem is I get so incredibly nervous to be scared that like the workup is far scarier than me actually witnessing the scary thing. Obviously, like a jump scare every now and then, like yeah, that'll get me sometimes. But like just reading something like this isn't necessarily scary to me, just because I'm so terrified the whole time of being scared. It just, anything happens and it just doesn't faze me. But maybe at some point I'll get there. I'm gonna keep this on going. We're gonna be on a hunt for a scary book, in my opinion. I unlocked all of my mystery challenges. Good for me. Great. We are gonna go ahead and sneak a peek at the November mystery challenge, the first one coming up, just because I'm curious. We'll just check out the hint right now. So November 1st is get inside the story. So I have no idea what that could even be. Like at all. Not a clue. But that's our little hint for the November. So if you're curious and you want to check that out, you gotta wait a month. I'm sorry. Forgive me, but I literally can't do this any earlier. I can't skip them like that. But I will come back on November 1st and we will go ahead and start the next month, see what we get. Sorry I only read 1 book for this. I felt kind of lame, but at the same time, I think I already said this. I have like 3 books that I'm in the middle of, and I just can't start another book right now. I just read this one for this video. That's all you're getting, unfortunately, but I did finish it, so that's good. I'd rather finish the one than start and finish another one and not finish this one. That's my piece that I'm saying with it. Let me know if you have read this book. If so, let me know what you think. Also, comment down below what you think that November mystery challenge is going to be. I know you just got the hint of the first one, but if you have any ideas, any thoughts, comment them down below and let me know. And then if any of you are right, then good for you. But that's it. That's all I got. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so excited to have you here. I hope you have a blessed rest of your day and a blessed rest of your week. And I hopefully will get to see you in the next one. See ya.